Ascension messages, questions and answers, new timelines, more tools for transformation.
Question. With all these timelines that we are all individually creating, could you tell me again, how do we create the one timeline together for a higher frequency new 5D Earth? And what can I do on a personal level?
Answer. There are new timelines in the upcoming events, a highlight energy event. It will effectively allow for a new timeline into 5D. This will allow the merging of all the existing timelines for one final timeline that will take us into the fifth density. This upcoming event will be the catalyst that will lead us into this new timeline, the new Earth matrix. Currently there are multiple timelines, some constructed and energized within the mass conscious beliefs, and most are based upon the fearful outcome through the stories and narratives of the possible outcomes of major catastrophic Earth changes. This new timeline effectively guides our consciousness at all levels into the light frequency of love. Remember, the fifth density is not so much as a place to reside upon, but more a state of consciousness to purely exist within. Therefore, a transitory projection of this journey is through the fourth density, where the mass consciousness of fear can be transcended, and a new energy matrix established in the frequency of love. When moving from the upper third density into the fourth density, the focus is on transcending human fearful thought patterns, held in both the individual soul journey through the epochs of time, and the collective group lower consciousness of humanity's journey here on Earth, throughout the incarnated group experiences during this civilization. Timelines are constantly changing, they are fluid and reflect conscious evolution, and/or fear-based realities energized through conscious thought patterns. So we cannot take any timeline as set in concrete. The fluidity of thoughts generates these creative potentials, both positively and negatively, the spectrum of which these possibilities flow are of our own making. There is always the possibility of misinterpretation of future events regarding timelines, especially when there are so many multiple timelines, some of which indicate the big events and are elevated onto higher timelines. It is possible that these events will not occur. This new timeline is being established now on Earth energetically by high-frequency light for the new 5D Earth. Moving from illusion of oneness into integration of the reality of oneness. Source portal is open and has an open timeline. Elements of lower energy hijack events, and have done this in the past. Light events in the sky. See previous papers. 3D and 5D Earth exists now. Open your ability to see 5D Earth and higher frequency consciousness. This is done by working through our fears and inner child work so that the sum total of our frequency is raised, and in balance, in unison, operating as one individual consciousness, a collective human consciousness and a galactic consciousness. We have the answers within ourselves, we are the conclusion that we act out. We need to step out of victimhood and become responsible for all that we have created here on Earth, and regain our rightful place within this new higher vibrational light frequency. We will never tire sharing with you the one simple truth: thoughts create. The tools for transformation are simple. Fear is held as emotions that have become locked into your biological body's energy matrix. To transcend these fears is not as simple as wishing them gone, or avoiding them, from a mental construct perspective. In other words, the healing we speak of is not accomplished with the intellectual mind. In actuality, there is a simpler, uncomplicated process. The trapped fears that are being held emotionally are easily transcended and replaced with a consciously made alternative, only while you are experiencing this fear. In other words, it is only when you are feeling your fear that the opportunity exists to transcend that fear. When you take the analytical approach attempting to understand your fear, with the knowledge that you can transcend that fear, this actually changes very little. So when fear is experienced the next time, you may know why this fear is there. However, you have still not transcended this fear. All you will have achieved is understanding why you have this fear from an analytical perspective. Again, this does not transcend the fear. Here are the simple tools of transformation. 1. Recognize. In that moment that you have fear, however it may be surfacing, as anger, anxiety, confusion, resentment, self-loathing, pity, the list goes on and on. Literally say out aloud to yourself, something is going on for me, It is not important to label exactly what it is.
When you are not feeling love, then fear can exist. Fear is the opposition to love, so it does not really matter what label you place upon it. It is illusionary, however, your emotions are telling you the contrary.
In short, simply recognize that something is going on emotionally for you.
Say it out aloud, something is trying to surface. 2. Validate.
Say out aloud
To yourself,
"It is okay for me to feel this way."
repeat this several times until you feel a calmness of acceptance washing through you.
The ego is trying to protect you from these fears by pushing them deeper and deeper into your subconscious mind. By stating to yourself out aloud, you are now saying to your ego that you are ready to feel these feelings, and that you no longer need to repress them. It is okay for me to feel this way. Spend a while reassuring yourself that you are now ready. The phrase is simple. It is okay for me to feel this way. 3.
Feel the feelings.
Allow yourself the expression of these feelings through sound. You may want to cry, shout, moan, simply allow the sound out. If tears start to roll over your cheeks, allow the sound that may want to accompany these tears out.
Healing or transcending these fears is not an intellectual process, it is literally feeling your feelings.
It is these feelings that have been repressed, because at their time of creation you were unable to deal with these strong emotions, and at that time your defense mechanism, the ego, repressed them.
Some call all of these repressed emotions the inner child. 4.
Choose again. At the completion or cessation of feeling these feelings, another level of calmness will wash through you. Be gentle with yourself and center yourself in this calmness, then simply choose another version of who you are, a version of yourself that will respond to the circumstances that you find yourself in a more uplifting way. This is integration. 5.
Imagine.
Hold the highest idea of who you are and embody this new version of yourself by living it every moment in every day. Simultaneously, hold the highest idea of a new earth that exists for you that would reflect the highest idea you have of yourself. This is how we create, this is how we make manifest new realities, this is the power of thought, thoughts create. Tawana, Tawa, adventure with joy, with all its multiple meanings.